Alright, this is Andrew Jolly with Jota Home Inspections. We are at 855 South 200 East in Farmington doing a sewer scope. It's October 30th, 2019. We've got the camera pushed all the way out to what looks like the main line, the city connection. We're going to pull it back and see what we find. This first connection point is called the nose on. This is where it drops from your lateral line into the city line. This one looks good. You can see how it's dropping into the line and not down into the bottom of it, which is good. This is looking like clay line. Looks like you might have some separation on this joint. You can see how it drops down like that. Luckily it's separated in a way that it doesn't create a lip. My only concern with that would be if it separates any more, where it creates a gap, but right now it's performing well right there. I did find one offset where it does create a lip where solids can catch right there, and so as things drain, it can catch on that offset and then they can build up and that can create a backup. That's definitely not the worst that I've seen. And you also don't have a bunch of debris built up around it, which is also a good sign. But the other issue is if you look above that, those are all roots on the top of the line. Those are roots growing through that joint, and those will get bigger and bigger and eventually get to the point to where it'll close in the entire line and it can catch on debris, and that can cause a backup. And so that's something you can consider having cleaned out now. Those are bad enough that, I mean, it's already restricting about half your line. But this is a clay pipe. I can tell it's clay by the red hue of the line. Kind of looks like terracotta. Clay comes in 3 to 4 foot sections, and one of the issues with it is that you can get that separation where you can get offsets, or you can get little flat spots as they settle. This one's looking good as far as the grade is concerned. I'm not seeing any standing water, which is one of the most important aspects of your line, is proper grade. We were 100 feet out from the top of the roof stack. Average line's about 100 feet. I expected this one to be a lot further because I went through the roof. And I thought your road, where the city line is, was going to be further than that. Not that it absolutely has to be in the middle of the road, but 9 times out of 10 it is. Also, with the slope of your yard, I would imagine that it's going towards the front of the house, not the back. That's a sewer clean out access point right here. That's probably somewhere in your yard buried. I didn't see an access point in the yard, but somewhere out there, there's a pipe attached to this hole where you can access the line further out. Now we're transitioning to cast iron. The issue with cast iron is that over time you'll get rust that builds up, and it'll get very rough and can catch on debris. You want to be careful not to flush anything down that you don't absolutely have to. So no feminine hygiene products, no wet wipes, even if they say flushable. Also, cast iron will start to get really flaky and flake apart and get to the point where the line gets very thin and also needs to be replaced for that reason. It's also harder to inspect because all that rust can cover up any cracks. But this line's looking pretty smooth for being cast iron. This black pipe that it just changed to is ABS. That's what you have in some areas of your house. We're just coming back up the roof stack now. There's water dripping off the head, that's why it's clouded right now, but this is just a vent. There's nothing to see here. So just to recap, you have cast iron and clay. It's about 100 feet out. You did have some roots that you could have cleaned out now. You had a couple offsets, which can be an issue where it can catch on debris. These ones are definitely far from the worst that I've seen, but any offset can cause issues. So I'm going to end this recording now.